guys, tonight I want to make a quick video here talking about packing. Specifically this monster right here. Now when it comes to packing things, you usually have a bunch of things of different sizes. These are things I recently sold. We got a small envelope, a bigger envelope, I think there's DVDs in there. Then you got the flat rate envelopes, those you get free from a post office. And then you've even got 12 by 12 by 8 boxes. And again, those come free from the post office. You take whatever you're shipping, you stick it in there, tape it up, flip it around, and you're done. But when it comes to something huge like this, you have to basically Frankenstein a box, which just means building a box that this is actually going to fit in to ship. Now this is pretty big. This is probably 24 inches by, I don't know, another 24 this way and at least 24 this way. So this thing's huge. You're obviously going to have to take it apart. Before we go any farther, I better tell you what this is. It is a purple ab roller plus. This was made like in the late 90s. You basically lay down, you hold on to this part here, place your head on the pillow here, and you roll forward to work out your abs. Believe me, it works. People pay about 60 bucks for these on a regular basis. But again, you can see how big it is in every way, shape, and form. So you're obviously not going to try to find a big box like to fit the whole thing in as it is. To take it apart, you flip it over. There are 2 screws here, 2 screws here, 2 screws here, and 2 screws here. Just remove those screws. These are Phillips head screws, and I've already loosened them up so I could get them out with my fingers. Do not lose the screws when you take this apart. After you take out the screws, you simply pull the pieces apart. And remember, there's 2 down here as well. And each part just comes apart just that easy. It's just that easy to take it apart. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. And you see how much smaller that is already. In addition, you've got your screws. And we can just put those back in the places we just took them out without even putting this together, right back in the holes at the end of these. Put them in there nice and tight, but I would not go as far as screwing them in with a screwdriver. You want the person who bought the thing to be able to get them out just with their fingers or just by turning the screwdriver really lightly. Now the other thing you could do also is, if you have a small bag like a Ziploc bag or something like this, another little envelope or plastic envelope, not a paper envelope, you could put those screws in there, seal it up, label it, and then you could wrap it around one of these bars and tape it. That way you're not going to lose it, but I just put them right back in here, and that way they're in place and they're ready to go. So once you got that done, this is everything right here. These 4 pieces, it's ready to be boxed up. And what we're going to use is the 12 by 12 by 8 box from the post office. You get these free by going to USPS.com. Order as many as you want, and they will deliver them right to your front porch. That way you have them on hand whenever you need to pack something. For this particular item, we're going to use 3 boxes. You are allowed to tape these things together to ship them out. The only ones you're not allowed to do that with are the flat rate boxes. Again, these are the 12 by 12 by 8 boxes, and you're free to Frankenstein these things. So the first thing we're going to do is just tape up the bottom of one. And we got that one ready to roll. Next, we're going to take another one, open it up, and put it right on top of there. So you see how we're kind of building a tower with it. You got to make sure you have the flaps on the inside of the box. Then all we're going to do is start putting this stuff in. 1 piece there. Another piece right there. And then you work these in. There we go, they're all in the box. You take the last one, And that's ready to go. You do the same thing, just put it on top. With the flaps of the second box inside this one. Now, of course, I ran out of tape, so I got to open up a whole new roll. And if you're wondering where I got the eBay labeled tape, it's because if you have an eBay store, you get an allowance and you can buy eBay labeled shipping items like boxes that have eBay printed all over them, or this tape right here. And the allowance basically lets you get this tape free every month. So I have probably 75 rolls of this stuff. And it really comes in handy, especially when you're packing something like this, because you're going to use a lot of tape. So here's the deal. Once you have this built like this, you're going to lay it down flat. You can see that it's not bowed on either end. It fits in there perfect. These overlap each box. And the first thing we're going to do is tape it from one end to the next. We're going to do it on that side first, and then we're going to do it on this side. That will hold the boxes all together. But you also want to tape it around this way several times just to reinforce it, because if you don't, then these boxes will be all janky in the mail and they could break, it could rip this tape, it could just come apart and it'll be a big mess. So you see where this overlaps. This is the tape that we just did this way. You see where the flaps overlap. We want to tape those flaps down. So what I do is like this here. I put 2 layers. One around the top of the flap, and then one overlapping onto the box. And sometimes I'll even put a 3rd wrap around this just to reinforce it even more. I don't think that's really necessary, but I do it a lot of times just to make sure, because I don't want anything getting broken or damaged in the mail. I buy insurance for these things, but, you know, that's a whole other mess. And there you go, it's ready to roll. All you have to do is weigh it up, print your label, tape your label on there, and stick it out front, and they'll pick it up with your mail. Now, packed exactly like this will ship at 10 pounds. A lot of times I put them on here at 11 pounds just to be safe, because I don't want a situation where for some reason it weighs differently for the post office and they decide upon delivering it that they're going to charge the person that bought it for that extra shipping. Here's the shipping label, and it's ready to go out. I thank you guys for watching, and if you like this type of video, stay tuned, because I will be doing plenty more eBay related videos. Make sure you check out the morning show, because a lot of times I actually go shopping for eBay during the morning show vlogs. Guys, thanks again for watching. I'm going to get the rest of my stuff packed here and ready to go, and I'll see you guys later.